man. I really wanted this speech to go well, so I YouTubed thousands of hours. I have not written a very good sermon in the past 6 months. Or any time prior to that, really. I checked out YouTube, I checked out movies, and I've compiled some of the best motivational speeches for you. Sam Demas High football rules! Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory is forever. We'll write our own paper. It's not a tumor, it's a fillet. Blood alone moves the gears of history. I don't have anything to pound up here, otherwise I would be pounding. Thank you, AJ.
Okay.
Now that you're all inspired, I can begin my speech. Joel has always been like a brother to me. I wanted to address Mom and Dad Heeb. I hope and pray that when you got the news that Joel and Kate were engaged, I hope that you were not sad to say goodbye to your little Kate. I hope that you prayed to Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for finding a Christian man for our Kate. And thank you, Jesus, that we didn't go with a K name for the middle. I came up with that one at the rehearsal yesterday. Joel has made a terrible mistake. Joel probably thinks that since I haven't had all that long to prepare this speech because the engagement was rather quick, and I think Joel thinks maybe this would be a little bit shorter. That would be wrong. Pretty much any time I get in front of people, my internal clock starts going and I don't say amen for about 21 minutes. Also, now that I am a pastor and have been for a few years, I think Joel maybe thinks that this is a kinder, gentler version of the Josh that he used to know. No, that would also be wrong. You'll notice I'm not wearing a gown and I don't have a preaching cross on, so the gloves are off. A little bit of history about Joel. Joel didn't date very much in high school. Joel didn't date very much in college. Joel didn't update his Facebook status until it went from single to engaged. I don't know that Joel ever had a girlfriend. But you know, that was a personal choice. All of the girls that Joel went to high school and college with made the personal choice not to date him. It was obvious Joel needed a little help. Enter my wife, who has started handpicking her sisters-in-law. Julie deserves only a little bit of the credit because we didn't have to work all that hard to set you guys up. All it took was a conversation between me and my wife, and then Julie said to Kate, "How about my brother-in-law? How about my brother-in-law? How about my brother-in-law? How about my brother-in-law?" 5 or 6 times, and $100, and boom! And then I said to Joel, "Joel, can I set you up with someone?" "Yep." Joel, I am so glad you're married now. I really am. Because hopefully now you'll stop saying things like, and I quote, "I can't believe how cute we are." And "I can't believe she exists." It's obnoxious. When Joel told me he was planning to propose the first weekend he met Kate in person, yes, that's a fun fact that maybe not all of you knew. I asked, "When do you think you'll propose?" And his words, "Depends on how fast she walks at the airport." Turns out he did wait for the little things until the end of the weekend. Little things like getting the blessing from her dad, that's kind of a big deal. Still had to be taken care of. Some things, though, I will say that you've said about Kate are not vomit-inducing. I love how open she is about her faith. That was awesome. That is high praise from a man that I respect. Some people would say, not me of course, some would say that your relationship progressed rather quickly. After all, you dated for roughly a month and a half before you got engaged, and the first weekend you met, you were planning a wedding. So to give everyone a little perspective, I've converted your relationship to dog years. You dated for 2 months before you were engaged. To a dog, that's over a year. Roughly 48 hours after you first met Kate, you called up her father and asked for his blessing to ask his daughter to marry you. That's quick, but to a dog, that's 336 hours. That means to a dog, you waited like 2 weeks between the time you met in person to the time you got engaged. Add into that, to the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. And so the Lord is up in heaven saying, it's been like 14,000 years that they've been together. What is Joel waiting to pull the trigger for? Joel and I didn't always get along. We were adversaries. His fault. Joel used to sing at night so that I couldn't sleep. Just loud enough. So that I would say, Joel, please be quiet. And he'd just keep on singing. Sometimes we would have to do dishes together, and he would take the plate and just drop it in the water, which I hated, and say, Mr. Spot. And so then I would take the plate and wash it, and then run it all over all of his dry dishes. It wasn't always bad, Joel. We had burp soda. That was a fond memory. White Pines Lutheran Academy, graduate of one... Oh wait, I didn't even graduate from there. Never produced one graduate ever. Oh wait, you graduated from there. Yeah. He's the only person that ever graduated from our home school, White Pines Lutheran Academy.
We shut it down right now.
Joel even let me be his roommate for a year in Las Vegas, so I got to sleep on his floor in 100-degree heat, where the cockroaches were as plentiful as the carpet stains. Thanks, Joel. Great brother. I think that you can tell in our family, we get most of our emotion out with laughter and with humor. We're almost always teasing and we're almost always joking. It's not always easy for us to express the other emotions. You know the ones I'm talking about. Is that close enough? They're there. This next portion, I promise, is not whimsical or merry or a joke at all. And I won't do it now because I'm a trained professional at public speaking, and I cried when I wrote it, and I cried it when I learned it, but I'll hold it together in front of people. Joel, I have so much respect for you. You are a man of integrity, of loyalty, and a man of faith. You think things through, and I've found that you almost always have a reason to do what you do, even if I think it's ridiculous. These things make you a great friend. I even remember the moment we went from being adversaries to friends, and I think you remember that too. Joel, I love you, and I'm so glad that you have someone to share your life with and to share your faith with. Kate, I have so much respect for you too. You are a person with many talents. You're a person of dedication and perseverance. And so I think maybe you can make this thing with Joel work. Sorry, I just had to get it. Kate, we're so glad to welcome you into this family. Someday I pray at another family gathering, whether it's a wedding or maybe it's a funeral, we'll look back on how all of us got our starts. We'll laugh over shared experiences and families and adventures, and we'll do it with joy, not because just because of the memories, but because of where we're going. I have confidence you and I are going to spend eternity because of what Jesus has done for us. What a cool thing that we get to share that too. I wanted to take a moment to address the Heap family at large. I know I have mostly ripped on Joel for this whole thing and left you guys alone. I mean no offense by this, but I think our families are cut from the same cloth. I really don't mean any offense by that. If you take it that way, then we can meet out in the parking lot. Some of you out there might be thinking, oh no, we're losing our little Kate. I get that. But I don't want you to look at it that way. I don't want you to say, we're losing a sister. I want you to look at this the exact same way that I do. You're not losing a sister, you're gaining a sister. Joel, that's what you'll always be to me. In the words of Grandpa Haushin, Joel and Kate, now that you guys are married, now I can die happy. To Joel and Kate.
Joel and Kate.